Welcome to the Game Corner, another video game podcast. My name is Harrison. You might know me online as Rorixon. I'm joined, as always, by friend and co-host.
This is Sheldon. You probably know me as Captain Unova.
Riverside's doing something great. You froze at like one of the worst frames you could have frozen on as you said your name.
Yeah.
It's very funny. Anywho, hi. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Pretty good.
Hey.
Yeah. Could be better, but could be worse, I guess.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Could be better, could be worse.
The more I think about it, the lower it goes, because my truck broke last week.
Right. How'd that end up?
A lot of money.
I believe it.
Yeah. I had a wheel hub assembly break. Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it's not. Any new tires, and the tires on that truck are so expensive. It's not even funny.
You got a big truck, so I imagine big truck, big tires, big money.
Yep. Other than that, though, I'm doing good.
That's good, at least. Rowan is still busy with life stuff, so he's not here today. That's all goods.
Work is pulling him away.
Work is pulling him away. And then besides that, I'm finally done working at Renaissance Fair, so I'm going to have free time again here soon.
Well, how was the Renaissance Fair?
Done.
Fair?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you Renaissance?
Yes, no, it was super fun. It's always bittersweet. It's Stockholm syndrome at this point. I've been working that fair for so long, but it's bittersweet to see it end as a fun thing to do on the weekends goes away, but also now I have time to do things on the weekends again, like play Palworld.
Yes, as one should.
And other video games. There's quite a bit of fun things happening as of late and everything but VGC world.
Yes.
So do you want to knock out VGC stuff? Boys?
Yes, let's go ahead and hit the VGC scene, which takes us to Knoxville.
No.
We did
Liverpool. No, sorry, Liverpool was last. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we already did Liverpool.
I said I was pulling up Liverpool, and then you did not correct me. It's Knoxville.
Yeah, I figured you would, come to the present eventually, but yeah, no, Knoxville.
Nope, you're right. So I want to say something real quick, right? So we spoke last week about Liverpool. There's where my mind was, and the fun things coming out of some judging and hack checking and stuff that brought. Just a heads up, it doesn't get better this week.
Yeah, we're going down a dark timeline right now,
and I don't like it.
I don't either. It's not fun.
So if you haven't listened to last week's episode, you should do that real quick, because we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff based off of stuff we talked about last week.
So we'll pause here. You can catch up.
Get out of here, you silly goose. Go watch last episode. Listen to it, whatever. And then come back to this one. Welcome back. I'm so glad you did that for us. It helps not only the views, but also our, the whole conversation we're having. And I think that's a great segue. This should be a conversation, but it can't happen.
Yes.
For many reasons.
That is one of the biggest problems is there's no talking about it.
Right.
And no talking about that real issues we have at hand right now beyond rules lawyering.
Right. Rules lawyer, people will do that until they're blue in the face. But I think the other thing here is we can't have a conversation because any conversation we have is one-sided.
Yes.
We can only get the players' points of view, and we will never get PCIs or head judges because it's actually in their rules, I'm pretty sure, that they can't discuss reasons about their ruling publicly. So there is some issue there goes... Someone can correct me. I got to find that ruling. I wish I thought of this before.
I had it pulled up.
You know what I'm talking about though, right?
Yeah, but also there is a verbiage in the rules that the player being handed any kind of judgments
they can appeal.
They can appeal, and they're owed a specific explanation, so that and it says in the rules so that they may correct it or be aware of it moving forward.
Sure. I mean, that makes sense. But I feel like we're not getting that, are we?
No.
Now I'll play. Hold on, real quick. I will set the stage with some devil's advocacy here. Maybe the players who are upset and probably rightfully so, are not sharing the full story of what they get told by the judges.
This is fair.
That could be the case. However, there's been so many instances of stuff happening in the last 2 weeks and even before where that's just not happening anyway. Right?
Yes.
So either everyone is so mad they're not sharing fully, or they're just not actually getting that information. And with the trends we're seeing, I'd like to believe the latter.
Yes. It's happened enough times, I feel like, that we should have more information on what's happening than we do. And to me, that is one of the bigger problems is as a player, you're just not being told why. Because we have some real concerning instances here out of Knoxville, like that you could 100% do everything legitimately, no ginning, no cloning, none of that, and still get hit with, oh, you were hacking. Like, and that's pretty much from what we've gathered, because no one else has spoken about it.
Yeah,
and that's all we know.
And that's the problem too, right? Like stuff on Twitter spreads like wildfire. Are we talking about rumors? Are we talking about cold hard facts, or something in between? Right? Yep. Like we don't know everything, but we know we don't know everything as well, right?
Right. So let me pull up what I was speaking to about in the rules here.
Yes.
So it's in section 5.2, assigning penalties. Second paragraph. Every time a penalty is assigned, it should be accompanied by an explanation of specifically how the player's actions are disallowed by the Play Pokemon Tournament Rules documents, and by a clear description of what penalty will result from a repeated infraction. The application of penalties should be handed in a way that positive moves the player toward a better overall understanding of the rules. To avoid singling players out and making a spectacle of the incident, organizers and judges may want to assign penalties in private. So to me, if you're asking to say specifically, that is not just saying, "Oh, you hacked."
I think the unfortunate
and then if you tell me that and I say no, I didn't, you need to show me the proof of the hack.
That I think is the problem. Yes, because I think people will argue the other side and be like, hey, yeah, no, I told you were caught jenning. Yeah. But then the conversation has to open up of, yeah, okay, show me why, because I didn't. Like, yes. How are you telling me that I'm jenning if I bred my whole team, I built my whole team, I watched a friend make it, or whatever situation is. Because there's a lot of things that can go right or wrong with jenning. And we don't need to get into that whole topic here. We will certainly touch on some parts of jenning in this conversation, I'm certain. But there's no, that's not the point.
Yes.
It's that there's the proving and the rulings need to be more consistent and transparent, I think.
Exactly. And I to me too, it's not like if this were a tournament that was free to play online or whatever and stuff like this happened, it would be messed up, but people could just drop it and move on with their lives. With this, people were buying tickets to play there. People are buying plane tickets, driving, hotels, Airbnb, food, because you're not at home, using your grocery. There's so much, people are investing a lot of money to come to these things.
Yep.
And no one shows up wanting to get disqualified. No one shows up thinking, oh, I'm just going to wing this and whatever. No, people are trying still.
Yeah.
So you owe it to not just the individual receiving a penalty, but the community.
No, I agree.
This is what's happening.
Because the more they're cracking down on this stuff, and we've seen this since Worlds, right? Worlds was the first time they did something new with the hack checking, and people got disqualified for jenning in ways that hasn't happened before. Okay, great, sort of. But have that conversation open. At that point, we knew it was the home trackers, and then that's how they're doing it. And there is two sides to this coin, and I think I mentioned it last episode too. The more we learn about how they're doing hack checks, the better the hack checking, the better the hacking will become. right? So then the genning looks more legitimate. And yes, that's going to happen. It's always, for stuff like this, it's always a race between those two teams, right? Trying to learn what's coming and trying to make the bad thing better.
Yes.
And that happens in every aspect of things like this. Now, that being said, the other side of that several-sided coin is that the community, because there are now more instances of, oh, I wasn't genning, why did I lose my Pokemon?
Yes.
Now that's becoming more of a problem in the community.
One of the ones that stands out to me they were given the reason was because they had something, they were playing on Violet or Scarlet or whatever. They had a Pokemon from the other game, but they said the same trainer name. Like,
so
I can name
wild.
I can name a profile anything I want.
Every game I play is going to be called Rorixen.
Yeah. Like, I have a little secondary profile. I called it Oaks Lab just for shits and giggles. And so I can throw something on the Wonder Trade and people are like, oh, it's Oaks Lab. And like, gotcha.
But it's really not.
It's real.
Now there's, if the OTs are the same number, right? The OTID or OID,
yes.
whatever it is.
But then, well, okay, go ahead.
They have to show that.
Yes. And if the OTs are the same number, guess what? You can go into a union circle with your friends and catch the Pokemon from the other games.
Also, good points.
This game, so they are punishing people for playing. You're getting people, since these hack checks have gotten to this point, you're being punished for playing with friends. You're being punished for one of the core principles that they try to enforce on us, is to trade and do all this. But
that's the whole problem with this, right? Like, you can't trade. You have to buy 2 copies of the game, name different things potentially. Make sure you have this. Like, you can circle with your friends. Like, there's so many things that go into this.
$180, I think, is what the total is to play VGC in this format.
Yeah, because that even more
for
so
all the games.
Because you need RCS 2.
Yep.
At least.
Yep.
Plus home.
Home.
Home is free for a small box count.
For like 30 space. So yeah, you can get away with that.
You can get away with, but still, that's a depressing thing to realize, right? Like, it shouldn't be. I mean, okay, someone's gonna come and be like, yeah, but trading card game is, it's $250 for a deck. Okay, I'm not playing the trading card game.
Exactly, we're playing the video game, and
I play the video game because it's cheap. And
always people try to compare like ginning and using proxies. To me ginning a Pokemon is me buying singles.
Yes, correct.
So if Pokemon had their way and treated the trading card game like VGC, you would have to open every pack.
Like cracking packs?
Yeah, you would have to crack packs to get all the cards you wanted. And that's the only way you could play the cards, because if you didn't get them that way, you didn't get them legitimately, you bought them.
And also, to further the point of TCG being more expensive, you get physical stuff that has some value, but my pixels are worthless.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can turn around and sell your deck and make some money back on it. It could even increase in price the way trading cards work.
Yep. So my bytes, my ones and zeros,
nope,
nothing.
Nope.
So it shouldn't be that costly. I should have the Switch and the game, and that should be all I need.
Yes.
Right.
Especially to play competitive. Like, it shouldn't be a huge cost sink in hardware. Just hardware. We're not even talking time in the game or anything. That is just a start. Well, that's the other thing too, right? And I think we might also be rehashing stuff from last week. So if you did actually listen to it, I'm so sorry if we're repeating ourselves, but we're quite passionate about this stuff. The other thing about it too is this is the only competitive game that I can think of where you have to play the casual game before you can actually play the competitive game. The casual game, the full thing,
and even more so, other past casual games.
Yes, you have had to play them. Yeah.
So like you have Smash or League or whatever, and you go to a tournament and just all the characters are there. You don't have to do anything special.
Yep, you pick the one that you want to play and you like playing, and you do your thing.
Yep. So, I mean, I know we're probably speaking to the choir on the most part, but why can't they just have something in the game that makes it so that competitive can exist the way it should?
Or just remove the rule as written. Too, that's another thing. Like you can just take that rule out, because I had someone on Twitter try to argue with me about. They're like, well, and like
you always have fun on Twitter. I gotta get on Twitter more.
But like these, someone was saying like, CS:GO and Modern Warfare and all these games, they, as soon as something is caught detect cheating or hacking, they legal action, shut it down. They were wondering why PK Hex. It's because we're not altering the game while we're playing. Those get shut down because you are using a computer program to aim for you, to play the game for you. What we're doing is not that. Like,
no, it's enabling the game to be played. Exactly.
We are just bypassing having to play something that is irrelevant to the part we want to play.
Yes. So like that's I don't know. That's that. Is there anything else to say?
I feel like it's beating a dead horse, because it's a bad thing. It's almost like politics. Like bringing up ginning in the Pokemon community is
it's
bringing
so
up politics at work. Like you're going to be on your side and be with the people that you are, and the other side of the house is just, they're not going to hear it. It's just cheaters bad.
Cheaters bad and rah. Yeah. No, it's there needs to be more of a conversation. People need to understand that people who actually play VGC know what Jennings is all about and why it's not bad for the game.
Yes.
And then it's people who don't play VGC that think it's a bad thing.
Pretty much.
That's kind of how it ends up being.
And if Play Pokemon, if y'all are listening somehow to this, someone that works there, like send an email or something. I don't know. Like just be open with the players. That's all. That's honestly all I'm asking for. Like I can live with, especially like regional plus level events, you having harder hack checks. If you are open about it, say, this is what we're looking for, this is what we're hitting people for, instead of just saying, you know what,
who knows,
good luck. Like you spent $1,000 to come here. Oh well.
What was it? A judge said you should use a third party.
Yes, that was one of the first ones that came out of Knoxville. Is a judge. Yeah. The head judge told someone that they should use a third party app to check their the same third party app that is enabling people being able to gin, which by the way will never go away because it's open source. So even if Caphonics goes away, someone can pick up his work and carry his mantle. So it doesn't matter. It is something. It's never going away. So unless
it's very true.
And the only way that they can reasonably stop anything is if the Pokemon, it will block anything, the game will block anything that is truly illegal. If it has illegal stats, illegal moves, whatever.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, right? You said they should change the rule as written, and yes, they should say you can't have anything that's outside of legal bounds.
If it passes the online check, good. You're good, because it's legal according to the game. The ones and zeros, unbiased opinion, it's legal.
Yep. That's what it should be.
And what I don't like either, because I've gone into this like over the years, like I feel like every year comes up at least with Caphonics, is that he will show people's rentals saying, see this and this and this, there's a 99% probability. Well, to me, 99% is not a definitive answer.
Yeah.
Like it is not worth killing someone's tournament and just wasting their time, their day, their money, wasting all of that for what? We're playing a game. Like in all retrospect, like sure, it would be nice to win $6,000 like Toller Web did here in Knoxville, but that's still not that. It's not enough money, especially compared to the franchise we're playing, the umbrella of Pokemon we're playing.
Yeah.
It's nothing. Like like let people have fun. I can't. It's so hard for me to wrap my head around this. And I think I'd said it before too. Imagine if this was a big enough esports where people could bet on it, like League of Legends, Valor.
Then it'd be even
and this
wilder.
Was happening. Yeah, you got head judges. They can cook a turn. They can do whatever they want, and they can say, "Oh, guess what? Your hack check, you failed. Bye." See ya. You're out.
Yep. No, it's
so like this is something that can only get worse. It can't get better going at the rate it's going.
Not the the way it's going now. What we need more of is clear cut rulings and then what follows them.
Yes.
Right. Like we need to understand why people are getting disqualified the way they are, and then what that means moving forward with whatever, like, I don't know what the ruling ends up being with a disqualified mon or DQing the tournament or whatever, right? Like however it all works, it has to be clear cut as well.
Yes.
The explanation is this is why, here's the result.
Yes.
Go on.
Yep.
So,
and that's really all we need. Just communication, transparency. Why are they so secretive about? I don't understand. Why? Like, what are they gaining?
They're gaining a dead audience.
Yeah, and that's sadly that is the end result on the path we are on right now. I feel like it is going to drive people away when we're at the largest numbers we've ever had by far.
Yep, absolutely. All right, enough negative. So, Knoxville happened.
Knoxville did.
And that was this past weekend. At Knoxville, we had 664 Masters. They played a classic 9 rounds of Swiss on day 1, and then 5 on day 2, 14 rounds of Swiss, top 8, single elimination, yada, yada, yada. Classic VGC format. And I think looking at the top 8 here, we have the continued stand of Water Pond at the most usage in Top Cut, I should say.
Yep.
Although...
Did you see day 2 stats?
I'm looking at Liverpool. Dang it.
Oh, yeah, I was say
Knoxville.
Oh, yeah,
Still,
Knoxville's even wilder.
Knoxville's even more water. So that's great. We did the thing. I wasn't going to say anything else. Even though Fire Pond won Liverpool with a bunch of water ponds around it.
It did.
There's no fire pond to be seen here in Knoxville.
Not in Knoxville. It was soggy in Knoxville. Just to point out, like, Fluttermane has been the queen, king, whatever of VGC since it's been legal. It's been at 60%. It's still at 60% usage, 61.9%. But Water Ogre Pond in day 2, 67%.
It was more. It was one of the few things to take that top spot from Fluttermane. Yeah. And granted, it's a great convergence too for Water Pond, because in day 1 it was second place at 48.2%.
Yes.
Whereas Fluttermane was 57%, and then only up to 61.9%, but second place in day 2. So that is pretty interesting. And then to also follow that same trend of kind of weird shifts in Pokemon and their day 1, day 2 stuff, Urshifu also had a weird. We're seeing the continued shift from Urshifu to Urshifu, single strike.
Yes. Yeah.
Because Urshifu is nowhere to be seen in top 12 on day 2.
And when it was number 5 in day 1.
Yep. That thing just dropped off.
It completely fell off for day 2. Kind of makes sense. As much Water Ogre Pond, it doesn't really like Water Ogre Pond that much.
Correct.
It kind of walls a lot of what it wants to do.
Which I think that's probably the main factor here, as we see Water Ogre Pond kind of come up in usage. We're going to see Rapid Strike fall, mainly because they do similar things, but Water Pond can shut down this one.
Yep. And Dark Urshifu hits pretty much almost everything for at least neutral around it.
Yeah, that's big right now. Yes, absolutely.
So that's Incineroar doing good. 38% day 1, 38% day 2.
Yep. Pretty much stayed same number 3 the whole time. We still have lots of long necks.
Yes.
We have Farigiraf and Raging Bolt.
Raging Bolt had a good day 2.
Raging Bolt had a great day 2. Yeah. We had Raging Bolt go from 18.8% at the 10th spot to the 5th spot on day 2 at 31%. And then conversely, Farigiraf was number 7 at 24.8%, and then dropped to number 9 at 19% on day 2.
Yep.
And then What else is super fun?
Goldengo had a good day. Apparently, wasn't in the top 12 for day one. Number 12 on day two.
Goldango took. Wait, hold on. What two things are missing here? Because we have Goldango and
Rapid
something
Strike, and Rillaboom.
Yeah, but what else took? Oh, Landers.
Yeah,
Holy crap, Landers had a great day too.
Oh yeah, Landers might have had the best day.
Yeah,
actually.
Landers went from not on the top 12 to number 6 at 28.6% usage. Holy crap, that took a lot of Landers Incarnate.
Incarnate, yes, not Therian.
Not Therian, which is very interesting too.
Which, I mean, the top 6 in top 12 there, or on day 2, looks like a solid team. Just if you just look at it.
Honestly, yeah, we have so that's Waterpond, Fluttermane, and Incineroar, Single Strike, Urshifu, Raging Bolt, and Landers Incarnate. There's your team to run. Just go on ladder, have fun.
Yep.
I'm sure that'll work. Actually, pretty well. Yeah,
it'll probably work. Yeah.
Not so much for the bottom 6 of the top 12 for day 2 with with Tornadus, Amoonguss, Farigiraf. So you have 3 support right off the bat, which makes a lot of sense. And then following up with Gouging Fire, which is having a great time. I kind of thought Gouging Fire would drop off for Entei, but guess not.
It's another support though. So you have all your supports at the back pretty much.
Yeah. And then Chien-Pao and Goldango coming in for, what they do. They do their things.
Yeah. They're good damage, just good Pokemon.
Yeah.
Especially Goldango. I'm glad seeing Goldango sneak out.
I love Goldango.
It's so good. Just what it does. There's a lot of good Pokemon that have been released this generation.
Yes, this is aside from the everything else that's bad. This is really good really good season generation Gen 9 for VGC, and I think it's gonna have a lot of staple Pokemon come out of this. That'll 10, 11, 12. They'll all be here too.
Unless they just power creep these out of existence too.
Yeah, but when you start so high,
yeah.
We'll see. So let's talk top 8, shall we?
Sure.
So just to go down the list here, we have a bunch of names that we know that we've seen before. We have Toller Webb, just down the list, 1 to 8. Toller Webb, James Evans, Enrique Grimaldo, Luca Paz, Justin Tang, Kyle Livinghouse, Avery Byrie, sorry, and then Nora. All
shout out to Nora, friends.
Shout out Nora,
to everybody.
Yes, that's fair. People that a few people we kind of know. The far reach of our circle. Hello.
Yeah.
And then people, names we've seen before, of course. So great job for everyone who played and honestly passed the hack check. Made it this far. Well done. Looking at the teams, you want to just go through them real quick?
Yeah. Let's. I'd say we talk about like pretty much the top 2, and then we can pick out anything else.
Honestly, I'm trying to like look and see anything that's particularly interesting.
Avery's team.
Avery's is probably the most interesting, only because it has Komodo on it,
and a Porygon 2,
and a Porygon 2, and a Ting Lu. Honestly,
Ting Lu's making a comeback, which I kind of figured it would.
Yeah, it makes sense,
because it's just good with all.
But this is when we're seeing it. Like this is the highest we've seen it placed in a long time.
Yeah. Yep.
So, all right. Do you want to take Toller's team?
Sure. Toller Webb is our winner of the Knoxville Regional here, and he ran a Water Ogerpon, Wellspring, a Goldango, Incineroar, Single Strike Urshifu, Tornadus, and a Raging Bolt. So one thing, he's running a Terra Fairy Goldango.
Yes.
Which has been a little thing coming around, and people started running that over the Terra Dragon that it used to be. Make a Rain, Shadow Ball, Nicey Plot with the Metal Coat just to get that extra bit of damage. Sacrificing
damage, yeah.
Sacrificing sticking around longer just to deal some bigger damage.
I would love to see the the spread on that Goldango.
Oh, it was
Just to
very
see,
bulky. I remember. So I
was it?
didn't. I haven't watched everything yet from the VODs, but I remember it was a very very bulky Goldingo. That thing
Okay.
took some super effective knockoffs. Like it took a lot of damage and hung around. So
All right. Good. So then, yeah, actually, that's fair. You have the good as gold to just, I mean, not good as well. The metal coat to add some extra to make up for lost EVs, basically.
because leftovers set, you don't like without a boost, you're not doing
You're
that
not,
much damage.
yeah.
Yeah. Like you can't KO a Golden or a Fluttermane usually straight up running a typical lefty set. So
Right. Even more so, you have Make It Rain, Shadow Ball, Nasty Plot, and Protect. That is like the 4 moves that Goldengo runs.
Yeah, like unless you're running specs, like that is what you run. It covers but those 2 moves cover pretty much everything.
Right. And then Nasty Plot to obviously give you that extra damage and also keep your Make It Rain doing more damage.
Yes.
I like to think it's my ammunition for my Make It Rain.
Because
I don't want to go negative. You don't want to go minus special attack. No.
No.
You gotta charge up and then
big numbers. Bump those numbers up.
Number go big. Let's see what else is fun here. So I almost said the same thing. The Terry Farah for the Raging Bolt. And this is Assault Vest. So Assault Vest Raging Bolt just kind of lives things.
Lots of things.
Lives lots of things.
Yes.
It's a bulky boy.
Very bulky.
So Thunderbolt, Thunderclap, Draco Meteor, and Snarl. So very offensive, very bulky, and I guess the Terry Farah is just to give it some dragon resistance, is what I'm thinking off the bat. Like, what's going around? I guess also
So any dragon move, So any dragon move won't touch you.
Right.
Dark Urshifu, you resist all that. Snarls, you resist those. You
resist them, but Snarl's not there to do damage.
Yeah. Unless a Chi Yu Snarl can do a lot of damage.
Okay, sure, yes. Fair enough. Grab one of the most powerful special attackers and say, its weak move does big damage. Yes, I know.
Yeah, it's probably just for other Raging Bolts wanting to Draco Meteor into you and Dark Urshifu, like especially like Scarf versions or something like that, just sucker punching you. Or Wicked Blow.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Fair enough. And then, I mean, everything else looks kind of normal.
Yeah, everything's pretty standard.
We are getting to the point in Regulation F, and it came a little faster than I was hoping it would, but we're really seeing this. We're starting to see a lot of standardization in teams, I think. There's still outliers, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I still think this format is open enough that it won't matter kind of thing. Like we're going to get some standardization, but there's so many tools and so many strong things that an adjustment's going to happen and things that format can flip in between regionals.
I agree. A good team builder is going to see what's going on and be like, I have an answer. And then everyone's be like, oh my gosh, he has an answer.
Yeah.
And then go
I saw this on ladder and let me try it out, and then
Yep, that's what's gonna happen. Cool. James Evans' team. James went in with a Ogerpon Wellspring, a Fluttermane, a Gouging Fire, a King Gambit, a Landorus Incarnate, and a Rillaboom. So I guess I am entirely wrong because that's not very standard at all. So forget what I just said, all things considered. It's pretty fun though. We have the classic black glasses King Gambit set with a Terra Dragon. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, it resists Player Blitz.
It's a good defensive type. Dragon is.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have a lot of stuff there you can play with. Rillaboom with the Meadow plates.
Yeah. So
are the plates better than the Miracle Seed or not?
Same
thing, right?
Yeah. If you just want to flex, I guess you can run a plate instead of
that's kind of what I thought it was. Just like, oh, look at me go. Haha.
But running that, so instead of, U-turn or whatever, getting taunt, which can be pretty good.
Yes, taunt. A well-placed taunt can really shut down many
especially
things.
like a non-prankster kind of taunt, like that Psychic Terrain's not going to block.
Correct. Do we see? Hold on. You said psychic terrain. We don't have any psychic terrain in top 8. And the first time we see it is scrolling down the list.
30.
30th with Rajan Ball. I don't know if it's Rajan. Sorry, friend. But yeah, 30th place here was the first time we see expanding horse. And then not too far along, Logan Presley has a more classic trick room.
An Armor Rouge. Oh my. Armor Rouge at 33.
Armor Rouge at 33. Yeah, with Ryan. Okay, there's a bunch of.
They're still there. They're still there, but just not top.
Not like it was last time.
No.
Oh. But yeah, so back to James's team. Landorus with Sheer Force Life Orb doing Landorus Sheer Force Life Orb things.
Yep, the very basic set of that.
Yeah, Earth Power Sludge Bomb Substitute Protect. That makes a lot of sense. Gouging Fire again doing Howl things really. Yes. So I'm guessing sitting next to King Gambit or Rillaboom.
Yep.
Or even Ogerpon, really.
Or Ogerpon, yeah.
Howling and then just being a menace with what it can do, Break and Swipe, Heat Crash, and Burning Bulwark.
Yeah. It's a good support that can also turn into doing damage.
Yeah, I think that's true. I see that.
So I get Annie because it's bulky too with a pretty good typing to block a lot of damage.
Is Burning Bulwark? That is a fire type move. Okay, it's not.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's because status. I'm looking at what it has on the page.
It's a status move.
Maybe that's why it's white.
But yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting to see. Again, Gouging Fire doing good work here. Like you said, as a defensive mon, that can do some damage, but taking the place of things like Entei or Incineroar as that, kind of main fire mon on the team.
Yep.
But definitely with the threat of Burning Bulwark is shuts down a lot of the physical meta right now.
It does. Oh. It does. You got to be careful what you're hitting into it because you can get caught, get burned, and then there goes all your damage.
But you know what's good for that? Punching glove.
Punching glove does work for that. If you're punching, as long as you're punching and not like,
as long
don't kick or use your head or anything. Like you got to punch, but
got to punch. Okay, fair enough. I am Punching Glove's strongest soldier.
Strongest ever. Only soldier.
Army
of one.
That's what I should make my Twitter bio. My Twitter handle.
Mm-hmm.
Nickname, whatever that is. So yeah, I think that is, again, a basic Wellspring set, pretty standard. Focus Sash, Flutter Mane. Focus Sash is
Focus Sash is different.
So it's probably a speed Flutter Mane, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna be. It should be fast and 252, 252.
Yeah.
Things.
Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Which that makes you think because you have to hit it twice, and if it's faster, then you that it could be trouble.
You gotta hit it twice, and it's gonna survive. It's gonna survive one hit, and it's gonna do some damage.
Yep.
So you kind of gotta focus it down that first time. Again, we don't touch on this. We touch on this pretty often, but we never go into detail of there's a lot of stuff that just in team preview makes you think more than
especially open team sheet.
Yeah.
Like, because if you're not expecting that, wait, was that Flutter Mane have a focus? What do I do against that? I'm used to being able to Oko a Flutter Mane, and then it goes away. I can't do that now.
So I think that's what we're seeing there from James Evans' team.
Yeah. I think to a point of what you mentioned earlier about the meta I feel like the Pokemon individually are kind of solidifying sets. Like your Landorus Eye.
Yes.
Landorus Eye is pretty much always going to have Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, Substitute Protect. That is the set that you're going to see 9 times out of 10. And I feel like we're getting that with most of the Pokemon where they have 1 or 2 sets maybe.
But then you kind of know what pieces you're playing with when you see it.
But the combinations I feel like is what's more open-ended. I think the team as a whole is pretty open-ended, but the Pokemon themselves are kind of getting
we're seeing a lot of in the same way that Pokemon have 4 move slot syndrome. Oh my goodness, I can't speak. 4 move slot syndrome. I think we're having a similar thing of like teams have a 6 Pokemon slot syndrome.
Yes, because
there's a lot of the to say what you're saying. There's a lot of the same pieces that people are throwing together in different sets.
Yeah, like take Raging Bolt. All 4 Raging Bolts in Top Cut have the exact same set.
Yeah. Now, of course, we understand that EVs and IV. Well, EVs change a lot more than IVs.
Yes.
They all change. But for the most part, that if it has a certain set of moves and item, how they're trying to build that Pokemon. So you can get a feel pretty quickly of, oh, this is going to be a fast and strong Flutter Mane. It's not going to be bulky.
Yep.
Right. So that's kind of like the thing that, like, yes, there's variation there, but the variation always tends to a theme.
Yeah. And I like that, though. I kind of like knowing what to expect. It's just because a lot of the matches will come down to how you use your pieces, not necessarily what your pieces are.
And in Discord earlier, one of our Discords, Rowan made the really good analogy, and I wholeheartedly agree. We play a game of chess where we get to pick the pieces we bring.
Yes, I like that. That is a very good way to describe this game.
What this game is, and there's, of course, like the next step of that is you design the pieces you're bringing, which is very true. But for the most part, because of how team building and the community works, a lot of the pieces are very standard.
Yes,
we know what they're going to be.
You have to, because that's a meta. This meta has been developing, and so people have to look at it and say, okay, this is what people are bringing. What gives me the best chance to beat, these top archetypes or whatever it is, like, or maybe have multiple pairs that you're prepared for, leads kind of thing.
Correct. Yes.
And then you can look at that and then adjust your, like, and even going so far, like, or little as to just adjust the speed on something to match whatever is in the meta now. Like, you could keep the same 6, but they could run completely different.
Yep. No, it's very true. So, yeah, I think that's a great analogy, great metaphor, great synonym.
Look at him. Rowan's contributing from
afar,
from purgatory or wherever he's at right now.
Wow. Okay. Purgatory.
Yeah. I mean, working purgatory, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, it's very true. It is
the shadow realm.
A mortal purgatory is work. To go kind of quickly on the next couple of teams, because I think there's only one other team we might want to really touch on. Just to kind of state the standard pieces: Enrique Grimaldo, Wellspring Overpawn had Flutter Mane, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Giraffe, and an Entei. There's my boy Entei. Luca Paz had Wellspring Ogerpon, Flutter Mane, Chi-Yu, it's kind of neat. Another Urshifu, another Lando Eye, and then Raging Bolt.
I want to say something. That Entei was clear Amulet Entei,
which is great.
Which is interesting because
inner focus. Okay.
And inner focus and clear. I guess you can't get party because you can parting shot them to drop their stats. Icy Wind them, but that's a interesting choice.
Yeah. So really, really committing to making sure that Entei can do what it wants to do. Yeah, I think it's good. Going back, Justin Tang brought out a Wellspring. The top 6 of the top 8 had Wellspring Ogerpon, and then because Victory Road knows what they're doing,
they line them up.
That column, but also that column continues on to Amoonguss for Avery and Nora, because it's the grass type redirector.
Yes. All the Flutter Manes are lined up.
Yes, and of course the Flutter Manes are lined up with their counterparts, which are of course Goldango and Farigiraf.
Yes.
And then you have all the fire types. Oh man, I love the way they did this.
Oh wow, they did do that. I didn't even realize that with the fire types. Oh man.
The fourth column is a little bit of a.
Oh yeah, we lost it after the third, but.
Yeah, actually, it's not as much. I mean, it's where the Urshifus live.
Yes.
Anywho,
Then you got all the genies plus a Porygon and a giraffe.
Yep.
And then all the electric long neck boys.
This is stupid. I love it.
The riffraff at the end.
Speaking of riffraff, Justin Tang brought in Wellspring, Pond, Fluttermane, Harkonine, Urshifu, almost certain Urshifu.
Yeah, Urshifu.
Yep. Lando Eye and Raging Bolts. Kyle Livenhouse, Wellspring, Pond, Fluttermane. Oh, okay, we're done with that pair at least. Chi-Yu, Urshifu, Tornadus, and then a Glamora. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
This is probably a power herb meteor beam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So offensive team there, or offensive Glamora there. Let's talk about Avery's team.
Avery's team is very interesting. I like it a lot. I like the Porygon. Porygon looks fun.
So in this Porygon had the Trick Room option, which it probably this team probably wanted Trick Room except for Fluttermane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, right?
Yeah. That's the speed controller. Fluttermane's there to kind of dish out some damage, but
yeah.
I mean, and a Specs Fluttermane, probably you can run it bulky and not that fast. So
that's a good point. That's a good point.
I've seen these Porygon sets a few times. It's a Terra Poison running Trick Room, Ice Beam, Recover, and Terra Blast. And Terra Blast is actually pretty cool on a Porygon because Terra.
It's normal type.
Not Terra, you get stab on it, and then you Terra, and it's always special on that. And also, you're running Download, so if you get the attack boost on it, so like say they got Fluttermane lead, it's going to be physical and do more damage to like a Fluttermane because you're hitting it on the physical side. Yes.
If I were Mike from Pokesports, I'd hit a soundboard that says physical. Anyway.
More energy. More energy.
If you've been listening to them, it's very funny. It was a funny joke I just made. Anyway, that's neat. I like the way that Porygon 2 would work in practice. I'd never run it because I'm not that smart.
Yeah.
But then Komodo here too. You have leftovers Komodo, Protect, Iron Defense, Body Press, Iron Head. So pretty standard bulky Komodo set sitting here in Trick Room. That's going to do some things.
Yeah. It's one of the things that it can just sit there and kind of take over a game if it gets set up.
Yeah, for sure.
If you can't deal with it.
With Body Press, Iron Defense, that's going to do some work.
And Iron Head for those Fluttermanes.
Yep. And then Terra Steel as well to
this team, I feel like this team just doesn't like Fluttermane. This is like the anti-Fluttermane team.
That's why Fluttermane is wearing glasses to try and blend in.
Yeah,
because you don't see me.
Yeah, Tinglu. You got a Moongus. Like everything here just doesn't. Fluttermane doesn't.
And beyond that too, this Tinglu is a Tinglu straight out of Series C.
Yeah.
Snarl, Heavy Slam, Ruination, Stomping Tantrum, Assault Vest, Poison Terra.
Yep.
That you could have ran that last year this time, and it would have been great.
Yep, for sure.
And then classic Amoonguss, classic Fluttermane with choice specs, and then pretty classic Incineroar. So I think Terra Ghost for guaranteed stakeouts and knockoffs.
Usually safety goggles will go Terra Ghost.
Oh, sure.
And citrus berries are going to usually be Terra Grass.
That makes sense. So pretty good. I'm pretty. I need to go watch some things.
Yeah.
I need to watch the VODs.
Yeah. Just put them on while you're working.
Yeah. And then tell me about Nora's team real quick.
Nora,
to round out the top 8.
Pretty standard. She ran Amoonguss, Incineroar, Fergaraf, Raging Bolt, Landorus Eye, and Urshifu Rapid Strike.
That's the only Rapid Strike in top 8.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because it's also one of the only teams that doesn't have Water Pond.
Exactly. So that's why it's here. You got your Fire, Water, Grass core with the Urshifu, Incineroar, and Amoonguss, and Raging Bolt and Landorus Eye are two of her big ones. I know she just literally just played her USPA match and won with this team.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very good. So she put a lot of effort into this for sure.
Oh yeah. You know, she's been working on. Yeah, I wish she could have gotten higher than 8 because she's been grinding at it pretty hard. So so hopefully the next one we'll see her in the top 2 at least.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's a very very solid team. Good stuffs, well balanced.
I'm sad. To move on, I'm pretty happy with the top 8. Then I look at number 9 and I see freaking Len brought a sandstorm, freaking like what's the move? I can't think of it. Endeavor
Sand Rush. Oh yeah, the Lycanroc.
Sand Rush Endeavor. Yes, Lycanroc. Like doing Lycanroc things, and that is my least favorite team. I need to play it. I don't like it, so I have to play it.
He's on stream if you want to.
I mean, this team
you'll get to watch it. Oh yeah, this is like
solid.
It's like Timmy's dream team, little Timmy's dream team. Like
yeah, but it's so wild too because to go through the team real quick: Lycanroc, Corviknight, Iron Bundle, Tyranitar, Goldengo, and Garchomp. There is nothing pseudo legendary in here. I mean, I guess Kitar and Garchomp are almost pseudo legendaries, but you know what I mean.
They're both pseudo legendaries.
No Paradox, no actual legendaries, no nothing. This is
Iron
a
Bundle.
team.
Iron Bundle. So
I said what I said. Iron Bundle doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
Terra Flying Iron Bundle too. That's weird.
To protect against those ground types in the sandstorm.
Well, I guess so you can Earthquake next to it.
Oh yeah, sure. Garchomp Earthquake. I don't know. This is just a wild team to see doing so well. Like we don't see this archetype at all right now.
Yeah.
So that's probably why it did really well. Because
probably people are like, "Oh, I forgot about this. I
forgot
lose."
it existed.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer to this.
Yeah. Endeavor, you died a sand chip. Like
yeah, worst thing. So okay, that's Knoxville.
That was Knoxville.
We have the majority of this episode behind us, but I know we're itching to talk about Palworld. So tell me, how are the pals going?
Oh, the pals are going great. So we're still, we have our little server. I branched off and started my own guild because Rowan and Kevin and Mike and all them were like power grinding and got way above me. So I was like, I want to go do my own thing. So I ventured off into the forest and started my own guild.
I actually need to probably find you and join you because you're lower leveled. And do that. I'm like level only 13. I'm so far behind everyone else.
Oh wow, yeah.
What level are you nowadays?
I'm close to 30 now, I think.
Oh
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
So far behind.
I just got my third base too.
I have time to actually
but that's the good thing about this
now.
And the good thing about this server too is like you can just set up on your own because there's so much land. It's not like you're competing with people for bases.
It's a huge map, right? There's only one map for the game.
Oh, and like so the level scaling in this game is weird because you can find starter kind of low level stuff almost everywhere.
Well, if you I don't know if you remember this or did this, if you die early on, you can actually opt to respawn in different places.
Yeah, that's right. And so
there's a couple of starting areas.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
A good number of them, really, and that's probably more for those public, larger, populated servers.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's a good strategy. Just die and spawn somewhere else.
I almost wish you could
choose your starting location.
Choose starting location and then freely travel or freely travel between them, right?
Yeah.
We always start on that one beach or whatever that opening scene.
That little cave thing or whatever,
Yeah. Which I actually need to go back to because I think if there's stuff on the back of it that I haven't seen, I'm like, I need to go see. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to honestly like
it's
Wednesday or Thursday night, just digging into Palworld and having so much fun.
I'm surprised it just hooks the way it does. Still,
I think that's the key thing is it still does that.
It's a good game loop. It's a good, just a play loop of it is just very satisfying. Mm-hmm. And when you get kind of tired of doing one thing, you can go and just do a completely separate kind of thing. Like
but
I'm
still
tired
be
of
making progress.
yeah, I'm tired of playing or building on my base. Guess what? I'm going to go shoot things with some arrows.
Right.
Like,
Right.
or I'm just gonna explore. I'm just gonna go all over the place and end up in a place that's way too high level for me, and I'm gonna get chased all over the place. Like,
You ran into a aggressive boss and it chased
yes,
you across the map or whatever.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
nice.
yeah. That happened to me. I was like, I'm gonna go to that island. That looks fun. And I swam over there, get over there. And I'm still like level like 20 or something at this point. There's like a level
Mhm.
40 that sees me and aggroes on me as soon as I like pop up and I'm trying to run away and it's just chasing me all over the place. Kills me. Then I have to go back and try to grab my stuff before it kills me again.
Excellent. They're a fun gameplay loop. That is.
Yes. But it is. And like when you get tired of dying, guess what? You can just go work on your base and do that stuff. Like,
And improve your stuff there so that you
yeah.
can go out and die worse,
Yes.
die better, die
Yeah.
hard, make yourself harder to die. There you go. That's
Yes.
English.
Yeah. So and again, this is only early access. Like we're still not, it's
I
not
want to see
a full game yet.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. Right, like they have a roadmap out, and they said they want to do things like pal fights between trainers or tamers, whatever we call us. Different things for stuff happening. Like there's a roadmap out somewhere.
Yeah.
Which does make
I
it
want to
seem
say
promising.
I just hope they take, the money they have made off of this and put it back into the game.
Yes,
And not just take the check and run.
I mean,
Because that happens a lot with Steam. These Steam games, they like in early access to make some money. They're like, "Oh, we did it, guys! We made a game." Yep.
we're done. Leave. Yeah, no, that's true.
So I hope they continue and just put back into it because it's only going to grow.
If they do that right, it's going to be an amazing game, and not just a fad phenomenon that
Yes.
took over Steam by storm.
And Xbox, Steam and Xbox.
Yeah, but the charts are off. It's wild.
It's insane.
What Palworld is doing.
Yeah. But I feel like it just scratches a lot of itches for people.
I believe
like
that.
because they're so like it's just weird. It's weird that a Minecraft Pokemon creature collector / third person shooter / base builder kind of like all just mesh together to make something that's
In a way
enjoyable.
that really does have that gripping gameplay loop.
Yeah.
Oh.
Makes me think that I need to go play some more like survival games too. Then
I mean, if you like Palworld, you'll like Ark.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I've been seeing a lot like on TikTok your Sea of Thieves because I know that used to be your thing.
Let's go. You want to Sea of Thieves?
Yeah.
Let's play Sea of Thieves. Let's do it. Let's do a game corner Sea of Thieves.
Can we be like One Piece? We have our own little crew.
Yes. Yes. You can own boats. You can do things. Let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll download that sometime. That sounds fun.
Glorious. Yeah, that and again, I mean, Sea of Thieves is not like Palworld at all. Ark is like Palworld. What other? Did you know there was another action adventure survival RPG that came out the same week as Palworld? That it wasn't Palworld. It was Enshrouded. Apparently, it's very good and also very similar.
Interesting.
It's more like Dark Souls and Ark put together, which is interesting.
The only thing I don't like about Dark Souls is it is too hard sometimes. I don't want a game to be that hard. Like I don't want to like.
But it's more in Dark Souls in that it's like you have that like RPG element and it's a bunch of boss battles that you kind of going for.
Gotcha.
All right. You had some interesting things to talk about real quick as well.
Yes.
You want to bring that up?
So I was kind of scrolling Twitter and I saw Centro, the famous Pokemon leakers here, posting non-Pokemon related stuff. It was just straight gaming news.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically the leak in the video game world, as they said it, huge changes coming to Xbox and Microsoft going third party for their exclusive IPs. Reports are mentioning that even Halo is now coming to PlayStation and other IPs to Switch as well, which is very interesting. Starfield's on the list.
So what's interesting about this too, and I think if this is all true and what it comes from, I'm not the most surprised because Halo being exclusive has always been a thing. No one fought that.
Yeah.
But Starfield being exclusive was something that people are very upset about and are very vocal about.
Which is weird for Bethesda.
Well, it's because Microsoft bought Bethesda.
True.
Right? So they made it exclusive. Now, the other thing about that, too, is Microsoft's, at the turn of the year, the whole, like, Activision Blizzard acquirement went through. They owned that studio as well now. Part of the agreement there is that the games for Activision Blizzard games have to be cross-compatible for so long. That was part of the, I think, European trade something or other. They had to jump through so many legal hoops to make this work, but that came out of it. So I'm not surprised they're like, all right, well, let's start making some of our other games also cross-compatible, if only to try and somewhat save face.
Yeah.
Right. Like the cynical part of me is to save face. Is the doing it to save face. The hopeful part of me is that, like, yes, they're actually trying to do something good for the gaming community.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's a bad thing for anybody,
no,
especially consumers. That's a great thing. Like, I don't like exclusive, and like you're gonna sell copies.
That's it, right? You're still selling the copies.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's true, but I imagine there are some tools for game developers to pretty easily cross-compile your game to several platforms. Maybe. I'm not in the space. I don't know. I imagine that's the case. And then you kind of have to tweak the stuff for things that are Xbox or PlayStation specific.
Yeah.
Right?
Like you have a little bit different language and some of the coding and stuff, but as far as a lot of it, it's all going to be, Unreal, whatever engine. The engines don't really change.
Correct.
It's just the language speaking to the console, basically, is what's different.
Sure. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
I want to see how far that comes out.
That'll make me happy because I don't like having to buy multiple game systems to play every game. It's like, that's one of the great things, like Steam. Every game you want is there.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, this is only for this. Like, no, it's there. And like I feel like a lot of like, especially like consoles and all, they're almost like homogenous now. Like, is an Xbox really any different than a PlayStation 5? Like Xbox One or whatever? Is it different? No. They're they're so similar as far as performance, hardware, all that stuff. They're same thing.
They're also just actual PCs.
Exactly. So like, why? Like, just give us stuff. I like it. And even if it's for not the right reasons, I don't care. Give it to me.
Sure. No, I mean, you're right. Like the consumers will benefit from this no matter what.
Yeah.
Also, while we're looking at Twitter here, Palworld is trending, so I'm seeing what that's all about, and it's just a bunch of random people doing Palworld things. There is no actual.
There's so many things. Yeah, and like, because it's early access too, you can love the bugs still. It's yeah, like it's like, it's gonna be buggy. We know this. They tell you that on the home screen that there's going to be bugs because it's in early access.
Early access, yeah.
Yes. So, we got, at least they tell, it's not like Scarlet and Violet that are, I feel like there were more bugs in the first version of Scarlet and Violet than in current Palworld, which is an early access game made by an indie developer.
Yeah. Who didn't know how to do game development at all.
Yeah, that also has a bigger map, more systems, more systems,
definitely
in
more
place.
Systems.
Like,
yeah,
I'm not. It's not comparable to Pokemon, but we can look at the game development and all that other stuff. I feel like, and make a fair comparison. Be like, okay, it's like game developers getting mad at Larian for Baldur's Gate 3.
Sure,
like, y'all can do this.
Yeah, there are things that you can do, and again, you have the two opposite ends of the spectrum with Baldur's Gate 3 and Palworld.
Yes,
and they both they both send very strong messages to the gaming community as a whole.
Yes. If you put some care into it, you could do a lot.
Yeah. 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 Is that an episode?
That would be an episode.
Have you been playing anything besides Palworld?
No.
Yeah, that tracks.
I mean, my Switch is set right here and hasn't even moved in like.
I feel the same way. It's I put it on my dock after Charlotte and it has not moved.
Nope.
I've played Palworld and some Cult of the Lamb on Steam Deck. That's about it.
Yeah, you got your fancy Steam Deck. You don't even need a Switch.
That's true. Now, I will say, with the my free weekend coming up and some more free time, and some new things showing up on Game Pass and other things, I'll have a couple more. Hopefully, I'll have a couple more video games to talk about next week, including more personal Palworld experience. So, we'll see. But that's it. I think that's
I need to start recording my session this Palworld and just like clip them and throw them on TikTok or something.
Yes, that could be fun. I hope now that I'm again have a little bit more free time between now and my big trip coming up in a month and a half, that I can do something. Just make a video, do something with it. Oof, some of my time. But that's not right now. Right now is the end of the podcast, and I want to say thank you to RobKTA for the use of our theme song, Goldenrod Game Corner off the Ultraball album. I have been Harrison. You can find me online at Twitter and Instagram and YouTube at @row_ixon on most places. That'll make you find me. Sheldon, who are you?
I am Sheldon.
Oh yeah, you got there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. No, I'm Sheldon. You can find me on all the platforms, Captain Unova. Twitter specifically is Captain_Unova. Everywhere else will just be like one word. But you can pretty much find me in on the gram, on the TikToks, all the places.
I've never hosted TikTok. I should do that.
You should. TikTok's fun. It's fun to make them. They're pretty easy. It's a good little platform.
Yeah, and then there goes numbers go wee real fast.
Yeah. Oh yes, it's fun to watch.
And together we've been Game Corner. You can find us at Game Corner VGC. You can find us really in everything down below. Patreon, Discord, all the fun stuff there. I want to give a special shout out to our patrons, Loot VGC and Mr. Nilio, for just kind of sticking with us for this whole time. We love you so much and appreciate you. On top of that, there is one thing I also forgot, but I'm not going to do it right now. But we do have the comments from YouTube and the polls and the stuff from Spotify. Next week, hold me to this. I want to go ahead and read some responses. I have stuff from weeks ago that I want to respond to and just say stuff about or whatever. I know it's been a long time coming. But that's all there. That all actually exists. And yes, I'm bad at it, but I do read them, and we'll read them. We
think and talk about it. We just don't bring it here because we're very unprepared and unprofessional.
Oh yeah, and we're proud of it. In fact, yes. And
we're
of course,
for it.
And I do respond to the stuff in the comments on YouTube, so that's fun too. It just takes me days sometimes. That's okay. Anywho, that all said, between now and next time, press start and game. That didn't roll very good. I'm so sorry. Try that again. Until next time, press start and game on. Bye. That's the last time I try anything new on the fly for an outro.
Yeah, you know what? Through the powers of editing, you can fix that.
Yeah, we'll see.